broken up and they are single,
That's
right?
right. Hmm.
They're single, right? And she was also chasing him at a point in time, right? She lied about a story trying to get him to come back, but he stayed single. He's now entered this relationship with rotation with other ladies, and in order to try and win him back, she wants to join the rotation. How is that triangulation when you decide that you want me back? You've lied about a situation to try and get me back, and now you enter into a rotation. How is that me now abusing you? Now, I'm talking about this situation. I'm not talking about what general principles are out there. How does that make me triangulate you in this particular situation when you are the one chasing me, deciding to want to be with me? How does that make that triangulation?
Okay, let's take into account how they broke up in the first place. I think it
Okay.
was because she called him out about him not being like basically, you know, the person that he was saying he was. He's on camera. I think that's what happened. He was on camera talking about his relationships and how men were, and she was basically saying he was full of shit because he was basically doing the same shit that he was talking about. Right? He broke up with her because of that and started a rotation. Are you kidding me right now? So she was she was right in a fact. And as a punishment, he broke up with her and started a rotation. Of course, she wants to be in the cycle because she made that point. She didn't want to break up. She made the point to wake him up to a situation. She didn't want to break up. So now, as a result of her making that comment, she lost him. And now suddenly he's dating all these other girls. She's starting to think that she's wrong for saying anything at all. And she wants her man back. Do you hear? Do you see where this is going? Like, you have to take the whole context into consideration. So from that point of view, he's like, nah, 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 I'm not coming back. I got my chicks here. You want to join in? Join in. It's a law. You have to
Again,
take into.
how's that manipulation? Again, how's that manipulation? If you decide to call me out for my behavior and I'm wrong about it, if I say I'm going to quit the relationship now, and it's
Mhm.
important because you're using words like punishment, which means you're already putting a judgment on it. If I
Yeah,
decide I want to,
there is what.
if I decide that what you said to me, I don't like it, I want to quit the relationship. Yeah, you called me out. Maybe you're right about it. Maybe I lied about it. I now quit the relationship. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm now going to go and get my girls, right? Okay, I'm now gonna get my girls. I'm gonna get into rotation. How the heck can it be triangulation or any manipulation when you decide you want me
It,
back? But when you want me back, hold on. But you want
go
me
ahead.
back, and I've told you the situation I'm in is a rotation right now. So if you want to get me back, if you want to come and join the situation, I can only give you the rotation.
That
How is that manipulation?
that is
What that
part of
is,
the.
what that is at that point in time is I've told you what standard I'm working with. And so if that's what you want, if you want to come back, you can come back, but you can only come back and be part of rotation. It's up to you. I've not forced you. I'm not chasing you. I'm not
All
dragging
right,
you.
come
You
on.
decide you want to come back. No, no, no,
Come
this is
on.
real.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm like, come on. When you've got to a state where, it's like what he did was textbook, but let's put that aside. A man doesn't come out and punch you in the face the first time when he's abusive. What does he do? He does a series of things to break you down in the first place. And then he'll punch you in the face and tell you if you don't like it, you can leave. Does that mean that he's not being emotionally abusive? Does that mean, well, she chose to stay?
Can I say
So
something?
I'm just putting the flip side of that. Do you know what I mean? She chose to stay, and he said outright, "This is how he is." So does that mean she's not being abused and he's not being abusive? I'm just giving you a flip side of what you literally said.
Can I
That's
say
not flip
something?
side, but Emily, go for it.
Yeah, so I agree with both of you, but Kojo, one of the aspects that I think Angelina, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, is saying is that even the way you said it, Kojo, I don't think he's actually being that direct. He might be manipulating her in that
Exactly.
aspect that, even allowing somebody or giving somebody that choice, knowing how like emotionally she's not there, she's a bit unstable, it
Exactly.
in itself is also just like very manipulative. And even if like he could be saying those things like you're saying, Kojo, which in that aspect I agree with you, because it's like he's telling her these things, she's allowing it, but it's also manipulative in that he's still like gauging things with her and then withdrawing, like gauging it with her and then withdrawing, and that in that aspect it is emotional abuse because he is very aware of what he's doing. So I agree with you both, because it's like she's past the point of also recognizing red flags. Her self-esteem has been dragged in this like decade-long relationship. So at this point, it's like he is being emotionally abusive because he knows these things about her. He knows she's on like a different level of obsession with her, but he still allows these things to go on. But is she also responsible to recognize it? Sure. But she's never going to understand that unless she gets like real deep psychoanalytical therapy. And I don't think that's something that she says she's done it, but clearly she hasn't done it to the point of like self-healing yet. He can still abuse her because she's already like, he's got her already in that format. So I agree with you both. I agree with you both.
Okay,
yeah, and that's what. Go ahead.
Wait, because what's happened here is both Amale and Angela, you've added pieces to the story which are not happening. First and foremost, we're talking about the rotation, so not the relationship. I agree with you. The relationship can be emotionally abusive. Let's stick to the rotation part.
But you can't separate them. It's part of the continuation of their relationship. No, we can't. That's what the context is what makes it abusive in the first place. Okay, go on.
Hold on, Angelina. Hold on. We can separate them because we're specifically talking about the rotation aspect. That is an argument I'm bringing to the table. I'm not arguing about the relationship. I already said the relationship as a whole after, we can call it emotionally abusive. I never disagreed at that point. My part of disagreeing was specifically about the rotation. So in the rotation aspect, if somebody decides they're going to choose a path, that they're going to do something that they want to do on their own, and you decide to join, that is not emotionally abusive. That is you being a fool. And you have to accept that. That is it. And I'm trying to say that you guys are adding, well, he would have known. He'd know this. You don't know that because she actually told us she actually told us her side of the story and said, I knew what I was doing. I knew that when I went into it, I knew exactly what was happening. He told me he was doing this, and I decided I wanted to go ahead of it. But none of you have mentioned that. What you've actually done is added details like he would have known this, he would have done this, he would have done this. And I'm like, no, but she told you her story already. She told you that she knew what she was doing. Why has nobody taken that into account? But we're trying to fight for another position to say she's been abused.
Because, okay, in that respect, she's not really understanding the dynamics of abuse. So she's taking full responsibility for what she's done or decided, right? So she's not thinking about it from the point of view of him orchestrating a situation or taking advantage of her mindset in the situation. She's not even thinking about that. She's thinking, I decided to do it. I knew that I was competing, which is absolutely correct. That's what she did. She knew where she was at with that. I'm not arguing that point. But what I'm saying is, we have all seen Derrick in action. We have all seen him in action. He talks a good one. Okay. And behind all of that, he manipulates situations and basically is abusive. You cannot take away the rotation section from their relationship as a whole. It is part of the relationship that they had. Yes, it was off at the time. And yes, it was conveniently not official at the time, which was instigated by him. All right. So she already got dumped for speaking her truth, which is a lesson. Don't ever do that again. And then she had to compete to get him back. So do you think she's going to come back and speak her truth another time?
Kodra, I agree with your aspect.
In itself cannot be separated from the relationship that they had. You can only separate it if it didn't continue on to marriage and everything else that it did. It's part of the relationship they had. So within that context, it's emotionally abusive. On its own, it's another story. That's a whole nother discussion, right? But in that context, it's emotionally abusive.
Kodra, it's also hard to answer that question because can you actually justify in separating both of them in this case when they're all kind of tangled up together? Because if we're talking about honesty, your genuine question to this, you are correct, and I don't think me and Angelina are arguing that. We're just saying he's the type of person, because of all the damage he's done, we can't actually separate both of them because it's mixed in together. So, especially since didn't this happen in the beginning? If I'm correct,
exactly.
After he got married.
Yeah. Before they got married, but it was a lot of. They had how many years of on and off, and him cheating with her.
This is early doors. This is early doors. So this is before the marriage aspect. This is before the
Yeah, this is
madness of
no.
cheating.
He
This
was
is early
cheating on
doors.
her before. No, he was cheating on her before they got married. Before they got married, he was cheating on her on and
I'm
off.
not saying that he
So it's
wasn't. I'm
not
saying this is early doors.
okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying to you. Like, at what point can we say that she knew exactly what she's doing, but then tried to flip it onto him? That's what the part that I don't really get, because she's already come out and told us that she is a participant who chose willingly to want to do this. But it seems like you want to flip the script and put it onto Derrick Jaxn and say that he's the one that manipulated into it. We don't know nothing. You actually don't know that, because the information you've got does not say that.
But
The
don't
information
you
that
think
you've
two
got does
things
not say
could
that.
be true? Kojo, don't you think two things could be true? As in, like, she did get manipulated, she was abused, and she also was a willing participant. You don't think those two things could be true?
Two truths can be true. I'm not accepting it being here because the information doesn't say that. So why
The
do you want me to interpret that?
The history before and afterwards follows a track that he was most likely, highly likely, to have been abusive and manipulative in that situation. The history itself, following
Good
on
word
from
in there.
that.
I like that word.
You know, so
no, stick to that word in. No, Angelina, stick to that word in, because what you've been telling me is factual. You've been telling me like he definitely did it, and that's the problem I have. You don't know.
I'm done. That's
you've been adding it as if it's factual, and that's my problem with the situation.
because
if you tell me if you tell me it's your opinion, then that's different. Go on. I interrupted you, so go on. Apologies.
No, go on. Okay, so your issue is that I'm saying that it's 100% abusive. Okay.